It's gone well. The 2 days off were important for the team after the stretch we had with those 3 games in a row. Some travel involved to Seattle and to Dallas, and it was important to recharge. So the guys arrived with a very good energy yesterday, and they were good. The training was good today and yesterday. So we've been not only a lot on the field, also a lot in the video room, just preparing every detail for the LA Galaxy game.
Thank you. We'll start with JJ, then go to Har.
Hey, Marc, nice to see you, sir.
Hey, JJ.
Just quick one. Any other injury updates besides Bruno? Is anyone else feeling any pain?
Yeah, there's some players. There's 2 players that we have to be cautious with. I don't want to say the names right now, but there's 2 players that we're just following up day to day and see how they're recovering. But I would say 2 players that it's a little bit slower to get them in for this game, but there's still possibilities to be involved in this game.
Okay, I think I can guess a couple of those players. A question, you talk about how we're not there in practice. We don't get to see the players on a regular basis, and this is absolutely true. So my question is, with Derek going out on loan, what were you seeing in practice that had him sort of further down the depth chart for you at center back?
No, he was fighting to get a spot in the team, and there was 2 players that were more option 1 and 2 at the moment. But Derek was a player that wanted to be in the top 2 and wanted to play consistently. So he had very honest and direct conversations with me. I can never promise that to any player. Maybe if we would sign Chiellini today, I promise you, and I would promise him that he would start every game if he's not injured. But it wasn't the case with no player. So when Derek felt that he wasn't gonna be the player that would be with a consistent base in the top 2 center backs, he felt where he was in his career, he needed to play. And this is something that it's a big conversation to have, because it's something that is happening a lot in the world with younger players. All younger players want to play, so they've often request loans or they want to play right away in the first team. And that's something as a club and every club in the world, we have to manage in a little bit of a different way.
Okay, this question from Mike McCall is kind of in the similar vein. You've been very consistent with your starting lineup and your formations. Do you make those decisions based on what you feel the performances are on the field? Because we haven't had the winning results on the other side. So how do you balance that between trying to change things up to change the results versus what you feel the performances are on the field?
Yeah, when you start making too many changes, you also bring doubt into the team, especially on the tactical side. This is not a chessboard game that you're always changing things around. And the other thing is when we have a picture and a vision of who we will eventually get, we don't want to make only changes when we get player A or B inside our team. We want the team already to have habits, and we could work those habits and then add those potential players in. It's very clear what I want and what I have in my head of how we want to play. Now we're trying slowly to have the guys, getting more and more used to it. So it is a balance between how do we get the right results and at the same time how do we stick to what we want to be about as a club and in our identity. Right now, there's a lot of areas of improvement when it comes to ball possession, but those areas of improvement don't translate enough into scoring goals. Even if we did score 2 in Seattle and scored 2 in Dallas, the thing is that we have to do a better job collectively defensively, because we shouldn't need 3 goals or 4 goals to win games or get results, you know. So that's an area that we have to improve in. So it is a little bit of a balance between knowing what we want to be about in the short term and then looking at how we could look like with certain additions in the next few weeks or next month, hopefully. And at the same time, try to translate that into results for sure.
Danke, sir. I'll pass you on to Har Superstar.
But JJ, if you guys or if you have any question about a player, you know, because you're not in training and you want to know about A, B, or C, how they're doing, I'll tell you directly what I feel and what are the areas we see good or bad in the player.
Absolutely. If I have any questions, I do usually ask because I know you are very forthcoming with that, and it's appreciated.
No problem.
Thank you, JJ. We'll go to Har and then over to Alex after Har.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing? Thanks for doing this with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you mentioned just players. How are Field Bear and Toss Ricketts doing? We haven't seen them play very much this year. How are they doing in training? Will they be getting more minutes going forward?
Yeah, Theo, I'll start with Theo, or I'll start in general with the position of number 9. We started the season a lot playing with Dajome and Cava, and then slowly we went into one man forward. So that one man forward was Cava. Eventually, we want to grow as a team that we have a player supporting our number 9, being an attacking midfielder, or in the 4-3-3, being one of the 2 number 8s that joins Cava, or the number 9 that's going to play that day. So when you play with one number 9, then there's a battle on the other side between Brian White, between Toss, and between Theo to get the next step. When Cava went to the national team, and he's going to spend a lot of time in the national team. If you look at the schedule for the national team in September, in October, and November, I feel that they should pay some of the salary if Cava goes a lot to the national team, because he's going to be more with them than with us at some parts. So it's important that we have depth there. Theo, there's areas of his game that I think are very positive, especially in the box. I think it's a clean player when he has time and he has some space to take a shot. He's clean. He needs to grow with his back to goal, helping midfielders to link the play, helping midfielders to when the ball gets to him, how to give continuity to our ball possession. This is an area he needs to grow in. And then in the moment where we press, his pressure moments need to start being a little bit more effective. And I talk about these things publicly because it's things that I've been speaking a lot with Theo about, and he knows the areas where we would like to see improvement. He attacks the space and behind well when the space is there. So if we defend very low and there's a lot of space in behind, he's able to attack that space well. But when we play against a team that is lower on the field, like Salt Lake did, that's when we would like him to be better with his back to goal and linking and just staying more connected in those plays. Of course, if we see a lot of improvement there, it's going to be good for him because he's going to see probably more minutes. Toss is Toss. He has the experience that he has. He works very hard for the team. He's a player that he's a team guy. He wants to help the team right away. But Toss is a player that came back from injury and just started fully training this week. So, or a little bit last week. So Toss still has a little bit of a process. Do you have water for me? Sorry, guys. Oh man, I'm sorry. You make me speak too much.
Take your time, coach. Take your time.
I have time, don't worry. It's more for you. Oh. So yeah, Toss is a player that how he helps the team, how he is in the moments of pressure, that he's just gonna be there for the team and help the team achieve their goals. The thing with Toss is after a good period of being out, he's in the process of slowly coming back to full form. But of course,
I
when
have
you
a
have,
few more. Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, when you have Cava being so long with the national team, it's going to open the door for these guys to get minutes. There's no doubt.
Yeah, so I heard that Chiellini's family is on vacation with Bonucci's family. So obviously they can't play left back for you at the weekend. So who are the candidates to play left back? Obviously, you don't have to tell us which player is going to start unless you want to, but just a few names of guys you're considering that can maybe start there. Thanks.
Guti could start there. Javain could start there. Those are two guys that could definitely start there.
Anyone else?
I said Christian Gutierrez for sure could start there, and Javain Brown could start there. Those are the two guys right now. Of course, Bruno Gaspar is a player that could start there if he's healthy, but right now he's not healthy to go. So right now, these are the two players that we probably would count on.
I got one more question. You mentioned some letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D. When can fans expect to see new players? They've been waiting for a long time. Is anything close to getting across the line? Is it soon, or any delays? What can you provide an update in terms of getting new players into the squad?
There's one at least that we're incredibly close, and one that I would be incredibly disappointed if it doesn't happen, because it looks like everything is done. So at least one for sure very soon. But I can't speak to you about days or timing, but one very, very soon. And then we still have work to do.
Is he maybe a really gold player?
If he's what?
Is he maybe a really gold player?
Gold?
Yeah.
Any player, any addition right now would be gold.
Thanks very much, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alex, please.
Hey, Mark, hope you're doing well.
Hey, Alex.
Just going to follow up on one I asked, I think, last week, and it's about Christian Gutierrez. So I just wanted to know how that conversation went with John Herdman. Obviously, he's on the Gold Cup squad and he's staying with you guys. It's not an agreement we see all too often. So what was that like, and how important is it to keep Gutierrez? Because obviously the roster's been quite stretched at left back, as Har mentioned.
Yeah, no, it's been very, very stretched. And I think it's important also for Christian to have competition there. It's important for any player to have real competition in a position. And of course that we always had hope with Ali, but then slowly with time that hope started to die and we became very thin there. And we're always an injury away, or we're always mistakes away of losing stability in one position. I'm not a big fan of playing left backs with their right foot, inverted foot in a position of a fullback, because I want them to join the attack and be able to help in those areas. So right now, yes, we have always emergency plans with Javane or Bruno, but Guti is in that waiting list in case something happens. And I always think that for any player to be with the national team and to represent the country and to be able to help the country achieve the goals is important. And we were always supportive of that. And we will continue being supportive of that. But right now he's there. And right now there's no indications, at least with me, that he's not going to play or be an option to play on Saturday. So as long as he's an option, he's going to continue being one. So that's it for now.
And I guess maybe just at another position, center back, obviously with Derek gone now, your depth there gets a bit stretched. Are you guys considering bringing in another center back? Or are you comfortable with what you have, knowing that, say, 1 or 2 injuries, you might have to play, say, an 18-year-old like Gianfranco Faccineri back there?
Yeah. How can I answer this question? I'll tell you this. Okay. Every time a player gets out or we do a move with a player for a certain position, I guarantee you, Alex, is because we have something in our mind and we have something in our mind for that position. So however you want to read on what I said on this, you're free to go with your imagination. But we always have a plan. If we can do it right now, it's in this short, medium term to definitely, there's a center back that left. So what's the next step for that position?
Well, stay tuned for Chiellini. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Alex. Joshua, please.
Hi, Mark. Hope you're well.
Hey, Joshua.
So I just had a question. You guys had a little bit of time off and you have a busy stretch here. Did you and the team get up to anything exciting? Maybe do some team building exercises, check out anything exciting in Salt Lake City?
It was important for a lot of the players to spend time with, their families. A lot of them didn't have a lot of time to visit Salt Lake City and to do things. I know some families, some guys went a little bit out of Salt Lake to do things. Others needed recovery, but I know some of them continued doing treatment in the 2 days. So it wasn't totally off. But yeah, I think all of us were able to, it was important to stay away a little bit from everything for 2 days, because I felt yesterday the energy in the building and the energy of guys who were in training were very high. It was very high. So I feel there was an advantage in the time off.
Well, I can see why you want to stay away a bit. We're kind of annoying at times, but thankfully someone who isn't is Gemma. So I'll pass it on to her.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Joshua, and I agree. Gemma.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Gemma, and you?
Wonderful, thank you for asking. So I wanted you touched on wanting to be better defensively. Can you expand a little bit on what you want to see from your team defensively in order to make a change here?
Yeah, I think the majority of the times we were always able to create or score goals. But what we feel is we shouldn't need 3 goals to win a game, or 2 goals to win a game. Sometimes 1 is enough, and we just have to find a way as a team. Sometimes in little moments of the game, we spoke about injury time. We think that sometimes there's this second ball that comes out and we could do a better job to prevent the cross in the box. And some crosses I've gotten in moments that it should have been defended better. I think there was a good parts of what we wanted to do in the first half against, even if I go to the game that we lost 4-0 against Salt Lake, there was good moments in the first half of the type of zones where I wanted the team to defend and defending further from our goal. We did it well in the first half against Seattle. We did it well in the first half against Dallas. Now we have to find consistency and continuity in that, and not doing it only for 45 or 50 minutes. But if I think about 3 bullets that I would tell you that, you know, we really want to have spot on moving forward, is our ability to defend in the medium block and being able to stay more away from our goal. So our pressure in our medium block needs to be more consistent, because it's been good at times, but not consistent in time. Our ability to deny crosses in the final third. So when we're in defending close to our box, being more aggressive, not to allow the cross in. And then keeping a very good level of concentration and focus in injury time moments that is going to allow us to be more successful.
And obviously, you want to focus on yourselves heading into this game, heading into every game. But what specific challenges do LA Galaxy pose?
Oh, they're a team, I think, that has a lot of speed wide. Both wingers are players that are vertical, are dangerous attacking the space. So they don't press very high. It's not a team that has this profile of pressing very high. It's a midfield that has quality, especially when they find Vasquez between lines, and then Vasquez looks for those players wide that are fast, they have speed. Then we always have to be incredibly concerned and aware of the movement of Chicharito around the box, and how he drifts to that second post, and he's always in movement in around the box. But we also feel they have areas that they keep still struggling with during the season that we could exploit. It was a very close game here where we lost in injury time, and we hope that we could revert that on Saturday.
And one more from Lola. There's some rumors that Canadian teams will be headed home soon. I know I've been a bit of a broken record asking you about this one, but what would it mean to you guys to come back to Vancouver?
A lot, because we've been away from Vancouver since I would say March 2020. Yeah, we had a spell of 3 games, closed doors at BC Place in the month of September, more or less, when we came back. But you know, it wasn't home. So it's more than a year, and almost a year and a half, that we haven't been home. We've been in Orlando, in Portland, in Salt Lake, and for us, it's a little bit still unreal when I hear about the possibility of going home. And because when I started to see how the season was going, I felt this is going to be a full season of 2021 in Salt Lake. I really believed in that. And now I see that it's not going to be like that. So I'm still trying to figure things out in my head of, is it for real? Are we really going back? Because we all feel as an organization, the things that happen in the day-to-day and what we go through, 2% with me. 2% with me. There's 98% that if I would tell you stories, you won't believe. So we just need to go back home. We need to be home. Sports shouldn't be like that. No sports team should go through that anyway. So we're just at the same time, we're lucky because maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what nature has for us, and I don't know the future, but I doubt that soon or in the next few years we'll go through situation like that again in sport. So at the same time, we were lucky to be kind of the chosen ones to be going through this reality of COVID and playing away and not being home. But we're when we think about the reality of going back home, we still think about, is it for real? Is this really gonna happen? Is there gonna be a setback? So I don't want to jinx anything. I just hope we go the sooner as possible.
We hope that too. Thank you so much, Marc.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Gemma, Marc, thank you for all your time this afternoon. Everyone have a fantastic day.
Thank you very much,
Take care.
everyone. Have a good one.